Hey guys, welcome back in. This is something I just read about an hour ago, and I felt the need to talk about it because to be quite honest, I was pretty annoyed by what I read. So apparently, Jesse Rogers, guy who covers the Cubs, he's an insider who works for the team. He was interviewing Joe Maddon, and he asked Joe Maddon if Jason Heyward continues to struggle over the next month or month and a half, and Soler, Contreras, Baez, the trio of those three continue to have success at the plate and all around, and just in general on the field, the plate, helping the team win. Would those three be able to take regular at-bats away from Heyward, other than your days off and stuff like that? And Joe Maddon's answer was no. Flat out, plain and simple, no. That was it. Are you kidding me? Why? What's the reason? I want to know why. I understand you're Joe Maddon, but I want to know your reason. Now, part of me thinks maybe he's just saying that because he's not going to come out and just say yes because he doesn't want to potentially put more pressure on Heyward, who some people think he's already struggling because of the pressure of the big contract and in this city on a team that's expected to break the curse. Maybe he didn't want to add more pressure to him. Because it's hard to believe that come October, you're going to play a guy who's hitting 220 over guys who are hitting 270, 280. Soler's average is rising quickly. Guys that have power. Guys that don't grind into double play after double play after double play. I mean, literally, Jason Heyward's new name is 4-3. Anytime I refer to a guy as 4-3, I'm talking about Heyward because that guy literally 75% of the time comes up, hits choppers a second, and grounds out. And that's it. And occasionally pops up to the infielders. I don't understand this. Why does he have to start? If Maddon's saying it for that reason, then fine. But this guy's a $184 million player. In my opinion, he shouldn't be so damn fragile. I mean, what about a guy like Soler, who now hears Maddon say that, and he's busting his ass off. Every time he gets in there, he's producing. He's got some lethal power, playing great baseball. And you hear Maddon say no matter what he does, and no matter what Heyward does, he will not take at-bats away from him. Doesn't that hurt Soler's confidence? Or do we not worry about Soler's confidence? Is it just the fragile Heyward whose confidence we worry about? I wasn't a fan of that answer, and I don't think it makes any sense. And in my opinion, forget the record. And when you get to the postseason, it's a whole different game. The fact of the matter is, I don't understand how you could sit there and say you're all about winning, that's all you care about, but then say we're going to play a guy who's hitting 220 over a guy who's hitting 275. And Jason Heyward, in all of baseball, outfielders, or position players, not just outfielders, all position players in baseball have enough at-bats. He's the worst offensive player in baseball. The worst. We're not just talking about a guy that's numbers are down from their career statistics. His numbers he's hitting in the 220s. We have pitchers that have been more productive at the plate this year, just about. And if Heyward doesn't start these games, it's not like he doesn't play. Any game we're winning, especially if it's close, he's coming in 7th, 8th, 9th inning, whatever it is for defense. It's not like he's completely useless and he does not serve the team in any way. He still has a role on this team. But his role at this point, especially come October, if everything continues to go along the same path it is now, should not be to start in right field and get 3 or 4 bats a game. Because this guy is not producing. I don't care what the record is. He's not hitting. You got other guys in Contreras, Baez, Soler, who are hitting. Caesar, Coghlan. Coghlan, but his OBP's high. But I think it's like 383 since he's been on the Cubs. That's a good OBP. It's sure a hell of a lot better than Heyward's. Again, I'm not ripping on Heyward intentionally. I don't dislike the guy. He's great defensively. He's a good base runner. I think he works hard. I think he shows up. I think his teammates like him. It's nothing to do with it. I just don't think he should be awarded 3 or 4 bats every single game, especially when we get to the postseason. And all you're going to see is pitchers jamming inside with fastballs. Playoff time, it's different than regular season baseball. And this guy, I don't think, from anything we've seen this year, has earned a spot in the opening day lineup with 3-4 bats a game come October. I don't think he has. And I think in the next couple weeks, or I was hoping in the next couple weeks that we'd slowly see him starting to lose playing time as time goes on. Because, obviously, as you get farther in the season, shit gets more real. You start treating it more like playoff games. I want to see Soler, Caesar, Contreras, Baez. I want to see those guys in more regularly and see Heyward in there less. But from what Joe Maddon said today, that's not going to be the case. Again, maybe he's just, saying that for now, and if things continue, maybe he will change it. But that answer really annoyed me, and I don't think it's the best thing for the team. Soler starts, gets 3 at-bats, 4 at-bats. If you have a lead, Heyward comes in for defense. I don't understand what's wrong with that. I mean, I realize Heyward, probably wouldn't like it, but there's no way he cannot understand it all. If for the next month he's still hitting in the 220s, he's got to understand. He's on a team that's trying to win a World Series. He has not produced for 6 months at the plate, and that's all there is to it. Next year, you'll be the starting right fielder. But come October, if he does not start hitting, he should not be in the lineup on a regular basis. He's a defensive replacement as far as I'm concerned at this point. But we'll see what happens, guys. It's something that annoyed me. I love Joe Maddon. Probably the first thing since we've had him that's annoyed me. So in almost 2 years, this is the only thing that's ever annoyed me about him. So, again, I don't want this to come across as I hate Heyward, because I don't. But he hasn't hit well. He's admitted, how could he not, that he has not hit well all year. So why are we putting him out there in the lineup every day? We're talking about Soler getting like 3 at-bats and letting Heyward come in the 7th. It's not like Heyward's such a bad outfielder that you can't play him out there without, teams just exploiting him and killing him out in the outfield. He'd be fine. He's got a cannon for an arm. No, he's not a great outfielder. But I think the difference between Heyward and Soler defensively right now is smaller than the difference between Heyward and Soler offensively. Just my opinion. But we'll see what happens, guys. Thanks for checking in. I'll be back for the Cubs review of today's game in a little bit. See you guys.